Be nice to yourself. Speak kindly to yourself. These are things that I tried to do. But the kind voice and the mean voice, they were not equal. And the mean voice, I just heard way too much of it. That voice came from a deeper rooted issue. I want to talk about that today. I want to talk about self-compassion, but not from a standpoint that's just simply being kind to yourself. I want to talk about the 3 hard truths I had to learn and do to actually get to that point where it flowed naturally and it wasn't just putting a face on and saying the words. No, I actually felt it. So I want to talk about that today. Start with number 1. I'm going to try not to get sidetracked. I'm really good at that. So we're going to do our best to stick with the plan. If you do not know me, because I'm very new to YouTube, I've been trying to stick with weekly videos, and we are making it happen, are we not? Yes, we are. My name is Shalyn. I'm a mom of 3 children. Yes, responsible for them, their well-being, being well-fed, everything. 3 children. I am 29. I am a nurse. I graduated during COVID. Yeah, didn't like that. Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking like right now. The main things about me. Obviously, I have this channel that I'm putting up, that I'm trying to speak life into other people. So let's begin the topic for today. Today I'm sharing 3 truths about self-compassion that made it click for me. The first truth I had to learn is allowing myself to be mediocre. Basically not tying my worth to my achievements. Eek. Not easy. And I didn't realize I was doing this until I actually achieved what I had been wanting to achieve for the longest time, which was to become a nurse. It's a long backstory, but I really put that on a pedestal that once I became a nurse, all my problems would be fixed. I don't know if you've done that before. It's idolizing it, and that's what I did. I thought that when I became that, all my problems would be fixed. My deep-rooted issues of self-identity crisis would be fixed. For people who don't know me, I had a teen pregnancy. I became pregnant at 17. I had my daughter at 18. And multiple people looked down on me for it. I was told it was going to be very, very hard. And it was. That it wasn't a smart decision. Of course not. It wasn't. But I kept my daughter. I love her. And I became determined to not be a statistic. I said, you know what? I'm going to prove everybody wrong. I'm going to go and make a success out of myself, out of spite almost, and trying to just prove to myself as well that, hey, you're not a failure. You're not a failure. You're not. And guess what? It didn't work. Once I did achieve that, and I did become a nurse, it didn't work. I still felt unworthy. I became fixated on defying statistics. But what I didn't know, I was just running on this treadmill. If I just achieve this, then I'll be worthy. I'll feel, what did I say I was going to be? Good enough. Yeah, good enough. As simple as that. But like I mentioned, it's just this treadmill. It keeps going. Then you set the bar higher and you set the bar higher. There's no fulfillment there. I'm not saying go achieve your dreams, but I'm saying don't put your worth in your achievements. So, allowing yourself to be mediocre. Let's say I don't go and get my nurse practitioner in the next 2 years like I am wanting to do. I'm not going to beat myself up for it. Let's say I have a hard day raising the kids and I didn't get everything done. I'm not going to be like, I didn't get everything done, beating myself up about it. I'm going to allow myself to be mediocre. Because God doesn't love me based off of my achievements either. He looks at our heart. He works on the heart. So that's one thing I had to, for me, constantly running, constantly chasing. Like, whew, it's tiring. And I got to let it go. So the takeaway from this point, you don't have to be extraordinary to be worthy. You can be yourself. You can have bad days. You can be mediocre some days. That doesn't make you a failure. It makes you human. And I had to learn that and accept that. Still love myself, even when I'm not this perfect, picture perfect person that I want to be. Who is? I'll wait. Truth number 2, self-compassion is grief work. This one kind of stings because I don't know if people relate, but it's hurtful and it's raw, but it's real. You know, it's life. Grief work. I had to grieve the person I wanted to be so bad. I wanted to be the person, of course, with no regrets, live my life the way that I should have in my mind. I shouldn't have stayed in that relationship for so long. I should have left a long time ago. I could have prevented teen pregnancy. I could have went to a 4-year college and achieved all my dreams and all these things. I could have valued myself more. I could have did all those things. And so letting go, first of all, forgiving myself because that's not who I was. That's not what I decided to do. Wasn't expecting to get teary about this, but being able to accept that that's not who I am. I'm not perfect. Grieving that and forgiving myself for not being that. Once you can forgive yourself, you can let it go. And for so long, I had punished myself for making those choices and not living that way. I had somehow thought less of myself and saw myself as less worthy because I didn't make the right decision. And I couldn't do that anymore. So grieving this idea, the person you should have been. Forgive yourself for not being perfect. Nobody is. Don't hold yourself to this impossible standard. No one should do that. Not even you. Ultimately, you only have 2 choices. You can forgive yourself, move forward, and make the best of it. Or you can keep beating yourself up for the choices that you made. You cannot change the past. There's no third option. You can't change it. You make the best of it, or you keep holding on to it and beating yourself up. There's obviously a right choice here, but it's so hard to do it. It's not easy to do it. But if you actually think about the reasons why you're having a hard time forgiving yourself, you map it out, you write it down. There's some work there. There's some grief work there. And you really can let it go. You shouldn't be carrying it. Another thing that I keep coming back to, God has forgiven me. The people who I may have hurt, they have forgiven me. So I need to forgive me. What has helped me in this process is remembering that God has transformed my heart. I am not the same person that I was back then. And my therapist had told me, you stayed in that relationship so long because you believed that's all you deserved. And that belief that you don't deserve anything better than that comes deep rooted in your childhood. It's these things that where you learned to be quiet, you didn't have a voice. These things that I had learned about myself growing up, developing this low self-worth over time, losing my dad, like so many things that contributed to it, and me saying, it is not my fault. It is not my fault. Not because I'm looking for someone to blame, but because I'm done blaming myself. It's not my fault. I was growing, naive, very impressionable, not strong enough, and it was not my fault. So, sorry, that was a lot there. So, sorry about that. My last truth here, tolerating your own humanity, things that I don't like about myself. That's part of my humanity. Setting goals for myself and then backing out. I can't stand when I do that. Being sleep deprived and not able to fully invest into my hobbies, fully pursue my career because I'm juggling 3 kids and I'm just stuck in survival mode. I don't like that about myself. That's something I don't tolerate about myself. But what I can't do is beat myself up about it. I say beat myself up, but being hard on yourself. We have limits. We don't have endless energy amounts. And God created us with limits, to know our limits and to lean on Him for strength. He created us that way for a reason. So I can't expect myself to be this superhuman all the time. And neither should you. So this was a little heavier than I anticipated it to be, but to truly be kind to yourself and to truly stop being perfectionist, you kind of have to go that far. You have to find those things that you just can't let go. Now you just have such a hard time forgiving yourself for. You have to get to the root of it. And it's not pretty. If self-compassion feels impossible for you, maybe it's because you're still holding yourself to impossible standards. Maybe you need to grieve. Maybe you need to forgive yourself. Maybe you need to stop punishing yourself for being mediocre, for being human. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to be perfect. Can you extend yourself the same grace that God gives you? Can you? Overall, and in final thought, self-compassion isn't about being nicer. It's about being free. Free from the impossible standard. Free from that fantasy version of yourself that doesn't exist. Free to be human, make mistakes. And that freedom, it's worth the grief. If you have had any struggle with this and this resonated with you at all, please let me know. Like and subscribe, write a comment. Let me know if this was helpful for you. I thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you in the next video.